What's good? I got a little bit drip today. I was feeling like having some drip on. We're hopping into this. I can't believe I'm making a video about the Washington Wizards, but I'm making a video about the Washington Wizards. This is a video I probably should have made on a day where I was more pissed off. I'm actually in a good mood. But the Wizards are just absolutely just broken. So I felt like it would have been funnier if I had just this built-up rage and I just went off on the Washington Wizards for like 10 minutes. But you know what? I'm going to do this from a more calmer, chill, laid-back approach. Yeah. All right, so, we got to start from the beginning, right? They bring in Russell Westbrook. This isn't really the beginning, but this is, in this new Washington Wizards era, I guess, post John Wall. So, they trade Russell Westbrook for John Wall. They trade John Wall for Russell Westbrook, and they bring in Russell Westbrook, right? And, they struggle first half of the season, blah, 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 finish the season. They go on a run, A seed, make it through the play-in tournament, and then get eliminated in the first round, right? So, sort of what everyone expected, right? By the way, I didn't mention this last video. I'm always going to be holding something. Next video, you might just see me holding a random can. You might see me holding this thing of creatine. I just always feel like I got to hold something. It's a habit. I don't know. So, now where was I? I lost my train of thought. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah. So, it was pretty much what we expected, right? We expected them to go in, make the AC, not really be anything too special, and probably get knocked out of the first round, right? So then they trade Russell Westbrook, and they trade him to the Los Angeles Lakers for Montrezl Harrell, Kyle Kuzma, who was the other guy? KCP, and then was it 2 second round? I think it was like 2 second round picks. I'm not really going to roast the trade because at the end of the day, I think getting rid of Westbrook was probably I don't know what's the right thing. I can't say a move that they made is right because by the title of this video, they have no sense of direction. So if they were trying to rebuild, yeah, that was a good trade. If they were still trying to compete, it was a terrible trade. And I'll get into what the Wizards said later via Woj. Where was I? Okay, yeah. So I'm not going to roast the trade that much because at the end of the day, I don't see that many teams going for Russell Westbrook. I honestly can't think of any other team other than the Los Angeles Lakers, English, that would take Russell Westbrook. I just can't. So they trade him. Yeah, Kuzma, Trez, whatever. They'll take it, right? And then there was this this was all happening live when I saw this, and then I look on Twitter and I see the Washington Wizards trade Russell Westbrook in order to free up more cap space to build around Bradley Beal, or at least that's what their plan is. It's like you can't be serious, bro. You can't be serious. So you're gonna trade one of your all-stars to get Kyle Kuzma, Montrezl Harrell, KCP, and then pick up Spencer Dinwiddie as Russell Westbrook's replacement in free agency and say, yeah, this is the team we want to compete with, and we're going to be better than we were last year with Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal. It's like the Wizards, you have no sense of direction. You're not competing. There's a difference between actually competing and thinking you're competing. Like the Chicago Bulls, right? No one's here saying that the Chicago Bulls is going to be an NBA, are going to win the championship, right? But at least they're doing the things they need to do in order to compete. The Wizards are just acting like they're competing, but they're just picking up pieces that aren't going to do anything for them. And that's no offense to Spencer Dinwiddie, Kyle Kuzma, Trez, KCP. Those are all solid starter caliber basketball players. Maybe not Kuzma. Maybe not Kuzma. I just love to throw. Who doesn't love throwing some Kuzma hate? Trade Bradley Beal. Trade Bradley Beal. I think Is he on the last year of his contract? I think he's on the last year of his contract. Either that or he has 2 years left. regardless, he's going to be a free agent. And if you lose Bradley Beal in free agency and get nothing out of him, and you have a starting lineup of Spencer Dinwiddie, KCP, Denny Avdia, Kyle Kuzma, and like Trez or Thomas Bryant or Daniel Gafford in the next year or 2 years, like, you're just asking to put yourself in a shitty position. I mean, trade Bradley Beal. You know what? I'm not even gonna say that, because I know the Wizards, just the amount of times they've, like, even last year when people were saying trade Bradley Beal, I was like, okay, listen, they got Russell Westbrook. It would be stupid for them to trade Bradley Beal when they're trying to compete. But this isn't competing. This isn't competing. This is just lying to your fans and all your supporters, saying that you're going to compete and clear up cap space to get Spencer Dinwiddie. There's this Instagram post. I know I'm repeating myself a lot, but it's just absolutely blasphemy to me. Blasphemy. Was that Stephen A? I need to put that Stephen A clip in there. But there's this funny clip. I don't know if it was Bleacher Report, House of Highlights. It was one of them, and it was the Washington Wizards' new big three. It was a picture of Spencer Dinwiddie, Bradley Beal, and Kyle Kuzma. Do you know just how, like, disrespectful and just like just disrespectful it is to Bradley Beal? It's just like, man, it's a joke. The Wizards, man, they have no sense of direction. One day it looks like they're gonna rebuild, and then the next day it looks like they're gonna compete. I don't even have that much notes on them other than me roasting them. I'm just going to get into what the Washington Wizards need to do. I'm not even going to get into how they're going to be this season or where they're going to be, because honestly, I could give less of a F about it. I'm not trying to get demonetized. What I put down here? Yeah, I just said trade Bradley Beal in all caps. That's literally what I wrote down. I mean, and the thing is, the Wizards do have some young players that I'm actually going to give some positive light. The Wizards do have some nice players they can build around. Like, if they started their rebuild right now, and especially for the value they could get for Bradley Beal, they could be in such a good position to rebuild for the future. I mean, Rui Hachimura is a solid young player. I don't think he's going to be an all-star. I don't think he's going to be a superstar. He might get an all-star appearance later on in the future. I don't think so, but he could still be a really good, near all-star caliber player. And that's only because there's so many good young players coming up that I think it's going to be so hard to make the playoffs if you're like a really good player and you're young in the next few years, just because the talent is just going to be absolutely insane. But yeah, I think Rui Hachimura is going to develop into a really nice player. You got guys like Thomas Bryant, Daniel Gafford, two big men who, you could at least trade one of them in the future and get some pretty good value for them, or you could roll with both of them as your two big men. You got trading pieces, Trez, you could probably get some value now that you got him. Denny Avdia can be a nice player, but they just didn't give him the opportunities his rookie season. And I feel so bad for Denny, because I think there was this one game, it was like either Russell Westbrook or Bradley Beal was out, or both of them, and Denny Avdia actually got the opportunity to take over. And he was doing really good. I think he scored like 22 points. He was being put in isolations. He was able to actually create his own shots. And what they did, they sort of turned him into like a catch and shoot three player, which is just not who he is. You could tell that he's a guy that can get his own shot, and he just needs to be given the opportunity. And I think if you rebuild and you give Denny Avdia the chance, he could develop into a really nice player. Like I said, I don't really see him as an all-star caliber player for the future, but he could develop into a really nice player, maybe like a Danilo Gallinari type guy. Like I said, the Wizards, they have pieces, man. They have pieces. And especially what they could get for Bradley Beal. I mean, they could get at least 2 or 3 first-round picks for Bradley Beal, and maybe even pick up 1 or 2 really good young players. Like the Wizards are an example. I mean, not the Wizards. The Sixers are an example. Maybe you could get just even like a Ben Simmons, Bradley Beal swap, or maybe you could even do a Bradley Beal for Tyrese Maxey and like 2 or 3 first-round picks. Like there's moves that the Wizards can make to get value for Bradley Beal. But if they want to do this whole thing where they say, oh, we're competing, well, not only are you wasting Bradley Beal's career, not only are you wasting the years of your franchise, but now you're going to lose Bradley Beal in free agency, whether he's a free agent next year or the year after. And then you're going to get nothing in return. And then you're going to be stuck with Kyle Kuzma as your best basketball player. Yep, Kyle Kuzma. So, yeah, that's all I have to say about the Wizards. I was going to hit you with the little shot, but I'm so pissed off at the... Nah, I'm playing. We're doing it. Woo! All right, peace out.